I am your host, as always, JC Morris. This is Tourism News Africa, and today we have a nice little podcast feature, a little exclusive feature. Today we're diving into stories behind the sales. We're going to be jumping aboard with Matt Jackson, my friend. We've known for each other for a while, and let's just say from this guy has been chef, yachty, he's a global adventurer from coastlines of Europe, the shores of Africa. My boy Matt has been there, seen it all. He's got the stories and experience. So I thought, why not invite him here, tell some stories, laugh a bit, and also just for other travelers who are interested in yachting, traveling, for him just to give his opinion for everything and just to give advice. So Matt, how are you, Matt? How are you today?
I'm doing great, thanks for having me here.
Wow, Matt, fantastic. So Matt, I want to jump into the first question. So a little bit simple. So what inspired you to become a yacht chef? Like where did you get your training? What led you to the path as becoming a yachty and go to places, Africa and beyond?
Well, for first, I didn't really have anything. At first, COVID hit, I dropped out of uni, I didn't know what to do with my life. And my mom kind of gave me this little, just like something to do in life. She bought a deli and we started a nice deli, in Port Alfred.
Yes.
Called Fresh. It was doing really well. And then working for her for 2 years, I felt I needed to, start working for myself. And I did see myself as a good cook. Felt like I could get far with it. And then I saw yachting was a good way to break out as a chef. So I did my research, did a few courses down in Cape Town, and took the risk and went to Europe to look for a job. And after a month, I found a job and been doing it ever since 2022. So it's been really well for me.
What was the place called where you went to go and study?
It's called Ocean Star.
Ocean Star?
Ocean Star, yes.
How was the onboarding becoming a student there?
So it's not like a hefty requirements to get there. You'll do your normal courses. So to work on sea, you need STCWs.
Yep.
Those are like fire safety, first aid, all of that. So they provide that. Then they have all the options of what you want to do. If you want to do chefing, do you want to do deckhand, or do you want to be a stew? So like stews with masseuse, bartending, all those type of skills.
Yep.
Deckhands would be jet skis, tender drives, all the requirements for like the outside stuff. And then for a chef, we did a 4-week course, 2 weeks in just normal basic training. And then the other 2 weeks are where they kind of tested us to our limits, giving us, we would say, okay, we want a vegetarian starter, a chicken main, and a non-dairy dessert. And then we have to do it within a certain time and all that, and, go out of our way and create something we haven't done before.
Okay. So, funny enough, for you and I both know, I've been to Matt's deli in Kent-on-Sea, by the way. Kent-on-Sea, chef's kiss, sunsets are beautiful. It's quite weird how when the sunset does come, it's like a cult. You wait till you guys want to watch the sunset. If you don't watch the sunset, we will sort of chase out for you. I'm joking. But I think when I did work when I did work for that day, I was helping with the veggie patties, right?
Yes, we did the veggie patties with lentils, with beetroot and lentil veggie patty.
Is that your own ingredients or?
I made my own recipe.
Okay. Did you use that recipe on the yachts?
I did actually use it once because we did have a vegan on board the one time. So
sorry.
Always the curveballs.
A little curveball, a little extra on the sweet.
Versus no gluten and vegan.
I'm not the same from everybody else. I'm just technically. Thank you to you guys. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. As I was also Port Alfred of my team that went Port Alfred not too long ago. And honestly, look, it's a quiet town, but I think it has a lot of potential. Because
I think what you have to look at it is a retirement area. It's not like for youngsters in their 20s to like start something and all that. That's where people, have done everything they need in life. And they just need the essentials there.
Honestly, yeah, it's a sort of, I think The only thing that I got excited that when I was there, obviously we went for graduation for the student in college. It was quite cool. The kids are graduating, fantastic, good for them. But I think other than that, there wasn't much other options. I think my excitement was Hungry Lion, fantastic chicken barge.
I will say the golf course is
Yes.
an incredible golf course.
The Royal,
Royal Port Alps.
the Royal Port Alfred Golf Course, I'm not mistaken. The name might be wrong. I don't hate people butcher, but we'll give you a shout out. Fantastic golf course, guys. Go give it a try. We went there for the day. We actually did some comments. We interviewed the manager, and it was quite fun. Honestly, beautiful golf course, amazing view, quality,
Great scenery.
Yeah,
Especially when you're on the 8th hole, you're on this massive hill, see right behind you. It's such a great course.
100%. And I think, and the people are actually the people I think at Port Alfred were actually very friendly, very welcoming. When we went to chart bars, we went to the restaurants, they're very welcoming to us. They didn't care if we're recording, they didn't hesitate. I think they just wanted us to encourage children to their lovely little time. Okay, so Matt, seeing all this that you've done so far, can you share a memorable story from your early days that shaped your career and love for adventure?
So I have two stories. One where it will be more the culinary aspect, where I saw a lot of potential in myself, especially in cooking. And then one of my travel stories. The first one was, so we just fired our chef at the Royal Port Alfred Golf Club,
Right.
because we were catering for them fresh deli.
Yeah.
We fired him. He was alcoholic.
Oh, you're fun. I'm joking. I'm joking.
And then we had this massive steak evening the one night with about 80 to 100 people attending.
Yes.
So my mom was stressing a lot about it, and I told her that I would take responsibility for, all the steaks, all the stuff. And yeah, it was quite a moment for me, because trying to remember 100 steaks, different temperatures, different, how people.
Really well done.
I got 2 blues.
Just remind for people who don't know, what is a blue?
A blue is basically you take the steak, you put it straight on the fire for 5 seconds, and then the other side for 5 seconds. It's just seared on the outside to kill the bacteria, but raw in the middle.
So that's generous. I'm joking. Honestly, my cousin also, he loves, like you said, there's no people saying, look, we're still kicking. That's basically pretty.
If you get a nice Wagyu steak, you can't cook it too long. It's basically like a blue also.
100%. That's my dad actually, we ordered a Wagyu beef burger, and my dad complained to the waiter that the burger was raw. So dad, it's a Wagyu. It's no, it should not. Someone just cooked it. That it's blasphemy what you're doing, then go for it. But okay, yeah.
And for a yachting and adventure story, the one day the guests were going out for dinner, so I just finished lunch and I was done for the day basically. And I usually, what I would do in my free time in those times, I'd go for a swim where we're anchored, or go exploring around the city, but at that time we were anchored. So I went for a nice swim. The worst part is my GoPro was in charge at this time, and it was one of the most incredible experiences of my life. I went quite far away from the boat. All of a sudden a turtle came up to me, started following me. Literally, it was so close to me. I didn't want to touch it just in case, but it was just an amazing experience having this turtle right up in front of me, swimming with me. It was just a great moment. And stuff like that, just especially the sea, just seeing stuff in its natural wild. In Seychelles, I saw sharks, bull sharks, just eating fish, and it was 2 big male bull sharks eating fish.
You don't have to give one.
No, I didn't create more for it.
Black tip reef sharks are kind of okay, but you still keep your distance. And nursing sharks are chilled youngs.
You don't mess with bull shark.
Bull shark,
it's called the bull shark because it's aggressive shark.
Yeah, it's bull shark, tiger shark. Great white, those are the boys you just keep your distance away.
No, thank you. I didn't see me in the water.
Exactly. You're not in that first deck, the top, the first, what do you call it? So a yacht has what?
So there's a main deck.
Yes.
So my boat, there's a main deck.
Yes.
We call it how would I put it, the foredeck.
Yes.
And then there's the sun deck, which is the top bottom words.
The sun gets exposed, obviously exposes to the sun most. Okay. Some cute. Anyways, So, for someone new to yachting, what piece of advice would you give them for breaking into the industry? And what should they know about yachting in different regions?
Well, the first thing, especially when you're traveling, like let's say to a different region, know the culture a bit. Especially when I was in Greece, I didn't know about what is it? All shops close at a certain time in the middle of the day because they all went to go have a nap.
Yeah.
That was something I also didn't know. But when it comes to yachting, I would say, especially if you're looking for the job and all that and you haven't worked before, always be aware of your surroundings. Especially when I was in France, you didn't know who was your next boss, who was the captain that could have hired you, who was someone that had a boat that was also looking for crew. You always had to always kind of show yourself and sell yourself. But don't go too far because your mistakes can actually lead to more consequences later on.
So
I knew there's one girl that did yachting with like the courses with me, and we went around the same time, and she got a bit wasted the one night out at a place called Hops. And at Hops you can dance on the tables and all that also, which is a bit...
what country is this?
France. On teams.
People like encourage people like to dance.
Yeah. So she was a bit like dirty dancing on the table. And the next day she got a call for an interview. And then later that day she went to the boat, and then the guy recognized her from the night before and didn't hire her just because of that reason.
So basically, make sure you always review those and just make sure you present yourself properly.
Yes.
Because as I say, when you know what's out there who's recording you, well, can give you a little part of the facts, updates, and laugh. Guys, make sure, please, don't do anything. Before you do anything embarrassing, look around, just in case. If you think it's for the story, it's not. It's catching you, basically. Not be something like
like when I went there, I was looking for a job. I wasn't looking for fun.
100%.
At the end of the day, I maybe went out, had max 3 drinks, but I still enjoyed a night out. But I didn't have to drink to. I'm there for work. I'm not there for fun.
You meant to that. So, you said you've been to Greece, you've been to France, and obviously I know you also been to Seychelles, Abu Dhabi. So how do these locations, also I mentioned Seychelles, right?
Yes.
In Seychelles, you were there last year, correct?
Yes, at the end of last year.
So how do these different locations influence your culinary style, overall yachting experience, and what stands out?
Well, like with Abu Dhabi, of course, the one thing you can't really find easily is pork. So that will always change the way you cook also.
Yes.
You can also find in Dubai, there's certain restaurants, not restaurants, supermarkets that will sell you pork, but like you have to just go into a bit of extra detail that. When I was in the Seychelles, it's just fish is cheaper. Of course, I'd rather cook fish. It's just one of those things. And the nice thing was we did a 3-week charter in Seychelles, and the guests were catching I think 7 to 8 fish a day, which was nice for me because at the end of the night when the guests are down, I'm just getting the galley ready for the head chef. I would be practicing on like 5 fish every night, just getting better cutting all of that stuff like tuna, red snapper, stuff when you don't have it on hand, you want to be very careful how much you cut and all that. But there we were getting 2 tunas a day, 2 snappers, something called a jobfish. It's quite a very nice white fish.
Jobfish, but then it's whitefish.
Yeah, it's a white fish. Some mahi.
Mahi.
Yeah, mahi. We saw barracuda, we still couldn't catch it. The barracuda, one of the hardest fish to catch. But yeah, it was nice, especially with tuna. Before that experience, I never got to cut tuna before. But now I'm pretty sure I can fillet the tuna, get all 4 steaks out, and make a nice sashimi with it, and know how to cut it properly and correctly. So yeah, I would say a lot of places you kind of have to adapt, and sometimes it just makes one skill much better. Like when I was in Italy, you have such access to amazing raw ingredients like fresh tomatoes, spinach, all of that. You kind of don't want to cook up a storm. You kind of want those flavors you get these amazing tomatoes, and all you have to do is just put a tomato there, some basil, balsamic vinegar, a bit of salt, mozzarella if you want to make a nice caprese, but that's it. There's not much that's added to it because the flavor's all there.
Did the African culture in like Seychelles give you like inspirations?
How would I put it? There wasn't really any different. I didn't really get to try any local cuisines there.
Yes.
They don't really promote it in Seychelles.
Okay. So like international.
I think if you go like into the deep heart of Seychelles, you can find the local cuisines. But a lot of restaurants I went to, there was just the usual burgers, fish. They also they love their fish. They do a nice curry fish. I did have a curry fish.
Oh, nice. Yeah. And can you tell us about the time of the sea you at sea? How you actually maybe improvise on something, how that experience shaped you?
Well, on my smaller boats, especially on that boat, I had to deal with like adapting to such small space. Buying stuff that will last almost a week. We can in a 30-meter boat where I can't even describe how much space I had. I didn't really have a lot of space. I had 2 freezers, 2 normal fridges, but these aren't like, it's just like a basic kind of fridge in a way. It's not like a basic kitchen fridge, but we have 2 of them. So I have basically the one side would have been everything for breakfast. Freezer would be with all my meats and stuff for crew. And the right side is more, actually no, breakfast and lunches. It would be also like my salad stuff and all that. And then the right side would be all the veggies, the dinner, stuff that has to be refrigerated, or stuff I've prepped the night before for the day after. And especially like in Croatia, you have to kind of, if the guests want to be out for a week, you kind of have to get enough for a week, because if you're in the middle of Croatia, there's not a lot of places that could sell you, chicken or... They're very, how would I put it? They get enough for them. It's not for like, I have 8 guests on board, I need to go find some meat for 8 guests. You're not going to find like 8 nice fillet steaks for guests. Especially on a yacht, you expect 5-star level kind of restaurant on the yacht. So yeah, usually when we're in the cities, I'd pack for about 7 days. With crew included, so there's about, if we do the math, 7 days, for guests is about 8, and for crew there's 4 of us, so 12 people, 3 meals a day. Yeah, there's a lot of shopping and space you need, but there's not a lot.
And you did the shopping?
I did all the shopping.
All the shopping. How many markets in like?
The markets are amazing, especially if you go to the locals.
Yeah.
So you get it, like that's Italy. I didn't go touch a supermarket. I went all to the markets.
Yes.
Best fish, there's definitely in Croatia.
Check out.
Yeah. You just have more variety, and the nice thing is they have these massive markets where you buy the fish and they'll clean it for you the way you like it.
You'll be like easier. I was hoping if you get to.
It made my life easier.
Yeah. They also cut the fish.
Yeah, they got the fish. If you wanted, like, let's say you're pouring tiger style, so you cut it through.
Yeah, I see that.
They'll do that for you. Any way you want the fish, like you get a certain fish called the monkfish.
Yes,
and is one of the longest ways to prep a fish, because you have to take the scales off, and you have to take the skin off, and then you basically pulling this heavy enzyme off the body, because there's no bone texture. There's nothing holding this meat together, so you have to kind of
sack of meat.
Work around this jiggly loose thing. It's not the easiest.
So it's off for the squeamish.
Well, like it's fish at the end of the day. Like